Hey, what's going on, cuties? So in this video, we're going to be checking out the brand new Goku Super 3 units. This guy looks pretty powerful. I have no idea what any of his abilities or any of his attacks are because I've never used this guy before, at least in this form. So we're going to check it out together. But real quick, before we check it out, here's a quick shout out to my members. Also, join the Discord. We play anime Vanguards a lot over there, and I think you're going to enjoy it a lot. So come join. All right, let's check him out. Wow. All right, so Goku Super 3 or whatever his actual thing is. I don't watch Dragon Ball, as I said in my Gogeta unit showcase video, and I did receive a couple comments telling me that I was pronouncing him completely wrong. Apologies on that, but Vegeta Super 3. Also, real quick, apologies if I sound a little sick. That's because I am. I recently came down with a respiratory virus that was going around in my area. I feel quite horrible, in fact, right now. So anyways, he is 1,000 yen on placement. He has a placement cap of 3, and as you can see, he has full Z plus stats, and I managed to get Blitz on him. On placement, he does 2.89k damage. He has an SPA of 4.3 seconds and range of 20 studs. And you can see this up here, swap. So this guy has an ability which allows you to swap between units, I think it is. Help me Vegeta. So if we click this, he is gonna swap to Vegeta, which is pretty cool. So let's check out his passives real quick. Hope of the universe. This universe. This unit gains a gauge. On attack, the gauge fills by 25%. When this gauge is filled, this unit can swap to its counterpart. Hero arrives, damage plus 50% on entry after swap in for 40 seconds. When this unit swaps in, stuns all enemies in its radius for 2 seconds. And here it comes. If no enemy is in range, this unit starts gaining damage and range at a rate of 1% per second, up to 100%. Once this unit attacks, this value resets to 0, which is very cool. Now, if you saw him a moment ago, he actually had like, what was it, 4,000 damage on placement? I think it was. And we swap to Vegeta real quick. Ah, there are different ones. Hope of the universe, this one's the same. The villain arrives. SPA minus 30 on entry after swapping for 40 seconds. When this unit swaps in, slows all enemies in its radius by 40% for 10 seconds. And the Prince of Pride. Every time this unit attacks, gain plus 2% damage up to 40%. This value carries over between swaps and fusions, which is very cool. So we'll go ahead and swap back to Goku, just because that's the unit we're actually looking at right now. Yeah, look at that. 5,000 damage after a swap. And you can like set this to auto, so like he automatically swaps between the two. Now we're not going to do that because we're obviously talking about Goku right now and not Vegeta, but we might talk about him in a little bit. So upgrade 1, he goes from 5.15k damage to 7.08k damage. His SPA stays the same at 4.3 seconds, and his range increases to 21.1 studs. This upgrade costs 1,400 yen. Upgrade 2, he goes from 7.08k damage to 9.44k damage. His SPA stays the same at 4.3 seconds, and his range increases to 22.2 studs. And this upgrade costs 1,900 yen. Now, his damage did drop down a little bit just because his passive wore off there, so his damage is going to be a little bit lower now. So upgrade 3, he goes from 6.79k damage base to 7.4k damage. His SPA drops down to 3.6 seconds, and his range increases to 23.4 studs. This upgrade costs 2,400 yen, and he gains the ability Twin Lizard Punch. This takes him from line AoE to splash AoE. I guess it would be circle AoE. All right, upgrade 4, he goes from 7.4k damage to 8.64k damage. His SPA stays the same at 3.6 seconds, but his range increases to 24.5 studs. And this upgrade costs 3,200 yen. Upgrade 5, he goes from 8.64k damage to 9.87k damage. His SPA stays the same at 3.6 seconds, but his range increases to 25.6 studs. And this upgrade costs 4,400 yen. And this is when he gains his second attack change. So upgrade 6, he goes from 9.87k damage to 14.81k damage. His SPA stays the same at 4.3 seconds, and his range increases to 26.7 studs. This upgrade costs 5.8k yen, and he gains the ability Martial Rush. And this takes him from circle AoE back to circle AoE, it looks like. Wait, what? Wait, what? Splash AoE Cone Hybrid? I have never seen this before. What? That's new. Well, anyways, upgrade 7, he goes from 14.81k damage to 16.04k damage. His SPA stays the same at 4.3 seconds, and his range increases to 27.8 studs. This upgrade costs 7,200 yen. Upgrade 8, he goes from 16.04k damage to 19.74k damage. His SPA stays the same at 4.3 seconds, and his range increases to 33.4 studs. This upgrade costs 8,800 yen. Upgrade 9, this is when things are going to start getting like a fair amount more expensive as well. He's just now getting above 10,000 yen, which that's actually very good. So this guy's very good in value. I don't know, I might be using this guy more often. That's actually really good. So upgrade 9 and upgrade 10 are when he is really going to start becoming powerful, I betcha. So upgrade 9, he goes from 19.74k damage to 30.85k damage. damage. His SBA jumps up a little bit to 5.7 seconds, but his range increases to 38.9 studs. This upgrade costs 10.4 thousand yen, and he gains the ability Lizard Fist. And he goes from Circle Cone AoE Hybrid to Cone AoE. This is very cool. That's a wide cone too. Look at that. Upgrade 10. He goes from specifically 30.85k damage to 33.31k damage. His SBA stays the same at 5.7 seconds, but his range increases to 44.5 studs. This upgrade costs 13,000 yen, and he gains the ability Super Soul Bomb. And that is him completely maxed. He also gets the ability Super Soul Bomb, which is very cool. So if we look at this ability, by the way, I think you're gonna be really shocked about this. Swaps to Vegeta, Angel, and disable swap mechanic while move is active, with Roku Super 3 charging a Soul Bomb behind him. Release after 3 minutes of charging, doing map-wide damage for 1000% of this unit's damage stat, and swaps Roku Super 3 back in, re-enabling the swap mechanic, which is very cool. Let's swap to Vegeta, see if there's any difference there. Rotara Fusion. After 13 seconds have occurred, this can be activated, allowing this unit to turn into Vegito. So you have the option of either doing a area or a map-wide nuke, or swapping him into Vegeta into a new unit. And by the way, this is Vegeta's maxed stats right here. 36.44k damage, 4-second SBA, and 44.5 studs of range. Anyways, let's go ahead and activate this Rotara Fusion, and let's see him swap to Vegito real quick.
Nope.
All right, well, in that case, we'll check out Goku's ability then. So Super Soul Bomb. There we go. So this is going to be charging up for a long time. What is it, 2 minutes? There's going to be a lot of damage here. Oh my gosh, no way. Right there. Holy. So we'll go ahead and check out Vegito here in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and place Goku over here, and I am going to check out Haruka Rin's damage. We're going to say about 49.97k damage. Oh, actually, you know, I think that's it, actually. Maybe not exactly, but yeah, 49.97k damage. Yeah, that was about it, boys. Nice. Hey, I just want to jump in here real quick and say that if you're enjoying the video, then make sure to not only like it, but also subscribe for more. Currently, I've got a bunch of Anime Vanguards videos planned, and you are not going to want to miss them. So make sure to like the video and get subscribed so you don't miss out on any future live streams, videos, shorts, anything that may be going on. So make sure to subscribe. All right, back into the video. Okay, should be able to do it now. Rotara Fusion, Rotara Fusion. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, Vegito. That's a lot of damage. So we have about 100 seconds to talk about this. 68.39k damage on base, 5.7 seconds SPA. Oh, he's got a couple of upgrades. What the fudge? Okay, so unit passive, Strongest Fusion. On entry, gains a plus 100% damage for 40 seconds. Once 40 seconds have elapsed, gain 20% damage, decreases SPA by 20%, increase range by 20%. Attacks ignore enemy dodge chance. That's actually sick. If an enemy would attack an ally, it attacks this unit instead. Anytime this unit is attacked, increases range by 3% up to 30%. Attacks inflict rupture. Enough. Attacks ignore 50% of the enemy damage reduction. Anytime an enemy attacks or applies a status effect on this unit, perform a counter attack on that enemy. That's actually really cool. Okay, rupture prevents enemies from regenerating permanently. That's sick, actually. All right, so upgrade 1. We're gonna try talking about this. I'm probably gonna have to switch back in a little bit to finish this off, but upgrade 1, he goes from 47,019 damage to 48.04k damage. His SBA stays the same at 4.6 seconds, but his range increases to 60.7 seconds. And this upgrade costs 14.2 thousand yen. Upgrade 2, he gains his next ability change. By the way, he starts off as Kone AoE, and that kind of makes sense. So upgrade 2, he goes from 48,004 damage to 48.9k damage. His SBA drops down a little bit to 4.3 seconds, and his range increases to 63.6 studs. This upgrade costs 15.4k damage, and he gains the ability Chi Blade Barrage. Oh, it turns him into Circle AoE. That's actually really cool. So does he switch back, or does he... What is going on here? Visual bug. Devs, fix. So upgrade 3, he goes from 48.9k damage to 50.62k damage. His SBA stays the same at 4.3 seconds, and his range increases to 66.5 studs. And this upgrade costs 16.8 thousand yen. Upgrade 4 is when he gains his next attack change. He goes from 50.62k damage to 51.48k damage. His SBA drops down a little bit to 4 seconds exactly, and his range increases to 69.4 studs. And this upgrade costs 18,000 yen, and he gains the ability Chi Blade Assault. Now do keep in mind, this is obviously with the Haruka Rin buff. Power scaling go crazy in this unit. Holy crap. Anyways, upgrade 5, he goes from 51.48k damage to 53.19k damage. His SBA stays the same at 4 seconds, and his range increases to 72.3 studs. And this upgrade costs 19.2k yen. And upgrade 6 is when he gains his last attack change. And he goes from 53.19k damage to 55.77k damage. His SBA drops down a little bit to 1.7 seconds, and his range increases to 75.2 studs. This upgrade costs 20.4k yen and also gives him the ability Chi Blade Rush. This takes him from Circle AoE, he stays Circle AoE, that's actually pretty cool. And his final upgrade takes him from 55.77k damage to 64.34k damage. I am sick as a dog, I am sorry, okay? This is gonna be a lot of stutters, all right? His SPA drops down a little bit to 3.4 seconds, and his range increases to 79.5 studs. This upgrade costs 22,000 yen, and that is Vegito, completely maxed. Very strong unit, lot of range, very fast attacking unit, might add. This is pretty cool. So does he stay as Vegito? I guess that makes sense because he's just very powerful. Holy crap. So you essentially get 6 units with this guy. All right, now Vegito is very expensive, but the fact that you can basically have like 7 damage units in one thing, that's crazy, dude. That's actually insane. So is Super 3 Goku meta? Obviously, dude, what the fudge? First of all, that area nuke ability is absolutely insane. 1000% of Goku's damage, and I believe that does scale with Monarch, so that's even more powerful. So yeah, boys, absolutely get him. And it's great because Goku's also one of the easiest mythics in this entire update to upgrade. If you don't have him yet, boys, absolutely get him. By the way, if you have not seen my Gogeta video yet, then make sure to go watch it by clicking on it right here. He's a very strong unit and you're gonna want to get him, so go learn about him by clicking right here. Dismissed.